Hey Rebels, so I'm being told it's time. It's going down. Shit is happening. And some shit is hitting the fan. Okay, baby, and then said poppy collar. But then also somebody trying to stab you in your back. Okay. So the card that came out first, as I was clearing out the energy from the last read, is second chances. And it's fell in my lap. Okay, it fell in your lap. This is a second chance that is just going to fall in your lap. This is something that is unexpected. Though you have many other situations where there seems to be second chances. Let me see, I'm saying 5, 9, 11, no, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17. Okay, it might be the 17th chance for somebody. There's rekindling that is trying to happen. There are opportunities that are coming back around. And not necessarily saying opportunities coming back around for you, but opportunities that other people are trying to create for themselves with you involved, you engaged. They feel that you are necessary for the opportunities that they aspire to. All right. But Spirit is also saying these are opportunities for you to show yourself to be different, to show yourself to be new. So if you wind up asking yourself, why is this happening? Why is this person back in my life? I told the universe I didn't want them. This is your opportunity to actually show Spirit and show the universe that this is indeed something, someone, an occurrence, or whatever the case may be, that you do not want. We have the Nine of Swords here. Here with this Nine of Swords, what it is expressing is that there's been plenty of times that you have been disengaged. Disengaged in the sense of that you did not want to be involved. Disengaged in the sack of people disengaging you. So they pretty much treated you. What is that movie? They treated you like the head of Medusa. Yeah, they put you in a sack and they cut off your head and they just threw you out there in the water because they knew that there was something about you that was so strong and so potent that it dismembered their character. And I also heard integrity. So the integrity that they felt that they had, the integrity that they displayed to others, you were symbolic of the actual reality that they felt within. All right. So Spirit said there are things that's coming back around that has even been a nightmare to you of you not wanting to have in the face again. But Spirit wants you to know that you are ready. You got this. You are entitled to this rematch. Okay. You are entitled to this rematch. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. And you didn't even want it. You said that you were done, that the battle was over, that you was finished. Spirit said, no, you're entitled to this rematch. All right. Now, here with the Queen of Swords, Spirit said, do understand you have gotten the message just in the memos in regards to this rematch that is these, thank you for the correction, Spirit, these rematches that are about to happen. You are ready. You are prepared. You are dressed apart. You have gotten the messages. You have gotten the memos. You know and you understand the root of the problem, even if the root of the problem was you. So Spirit is telling me that there is going to be somebody or someone's who come back around to try to rekindle something with you, and they on their end they see you as a need. They see you as a necessity. They see you as also someone who they should have gave a fair chance to. But due to the time that you have had to sit with yourself, to be with yourself, to reflect on about you, you realize that person, that version of you, you no longer want to be that version of you. So therefore, you are not matching them where they are trying to meet you. Well, shit. Okay. And Spirit said, you are in a space of that you are confident, even in this moment, if you are feeling doubt. Spirit said, you are confident, and it's going to show. It is definitely going to show. It's going to be known, and it will be told. Because whomever this is that is coming back for a redo, a rematch, they are going to expose this this frame of work that you're in to others, and at the same time not realize what it is that they're even saying and how it is that they are exposing themselves and what it is that they are sharing with others. So you fine, honey. You fine. You're gonna be got it. But here's the thing. Now the tower is here. You are falling to safety. Lightning has struck. We have been talking about this thunderstorm that you've been in, this storm that you've been in. Confirmation with it's supposed to be a storm today. I don't know where you're at, but where I'm located, there's supposed to be a 2-part storm, and maybe even a third later on tonight. So this may play in parts. So what Spirit is telling me is that whomever this is or whatever this is about, though they're coming back, they're going to make another turn back around just to check to make sure that they heard what they heard and what they saw was what they saw. And or, you know, but in regards to you, you are falling to safety. Okay? You are Spirit said it's not that you're just falling to safety. The place that you are, it's like falling in love, but with yourself. You are going to be so happy. Oh my goodness, why? I just got emotional. You are going to be so happy. You are going to be so full of pride in the best ways. Said, nothing about this should be redundant. Okay? Nothing about this should be redundant about this second chance situation. And notice that it's in a struggle position. So they're not quite sure whomever this rekindling, this making amends, this opportunity has to do with, who is going to pull them, guide themselves back to you. They're not sure at the moment if they really want to do this. It's not going to be until they are faced with the opportunity of you that the decision is going to be had. Well, I'm here, so I might as well, right? But to you, you are going to be saved at right in the nick of time. There's going to be something that, in a sense, triggers you. That's going to remind you of a wounding, even if you do fall into the whole romanticizing of the fact that, like, I've been waiting on this. There's going to be something that's going to remind you of this 9 of Swords, how you was thrown out there to the sea, and you're going to pull yourself back in. So Spirit said, no worries. There's no need for you to get yourself overly prepared and dwell on this or be in paranoia about this. You have been in preparation so long that your body is going to respond the way that your body needs to respond to get the words out that need to be gotten out, to get the movement of your feet that needs to be had, whether that's being drawn in closer or you being pushed away afar, all right? With the Queen of Pentacles, what's also about this tower, not everything after this tower is the aftermath. They say handle your business. Stay on your business. Do not let your priorities, your obligations, your responsibilities, or anything fall to the wayside because of this situation. They say even if you have to endure this situation during a time that you are busy, that you are off of their frequency, that you are not to be bothered, honey, keep focused on what you got to do, because that whole timing and restraint that you have towards yourself, where what they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's gonna play. Oh, I heard beneficial beneficiary into this entire situation. So do not disregard yourself or what you need to be taking care of or what you are responsible for as far as your own self-nourishment, your independence, whatever it is that you are growing, whatever it is that you have grounded yourself so well into. All right, continue. This is not this. Spirit said this is not a cause for distraction, meaning that this is not a well enough situation that you should allow it to distract you. Just keep on going. That's what they said here with the world, honey. Enjoy yourself. Feel that fulfillment. Acknowledge your support that you have had, even if that support that you have had has only been within spirit. Live in it, embrace it, enjoy it. Mm. Honey, it's a whole bunch of projection happening. They, of course, obviously don't want you to be pre-warned that this is coming, right? This spirit is saying that you are so solid with yourself in this change and transition that you are in, that it's going to do more than ruffle some people's feather. Have you ever seen, heard, or even thought of a fire happening out of there you go, out of nowhere? See how that projection just happened? Out of nowhere. It's just like the wind just blew and there was a tiniest spark in the air, and it's gonna catch all their feathers. Just whoo, a bomb. Okay, and that's crazy. I knew that download had nothing to do with that last message, but it had everything to do with that last message. So I'm gonna post a message, a reading before this reading. If you would like to go watch it, if the title indeed resonates with you, or if you're just curious to it, honey, I would say definitely claim, affirm, decree, and declare that energy. But Spirit said, you look at, see, I gotta bring these two in, because all this in between, you having to speak up for yourself, you having to stand up for yourself, you having to stay who it is that you are, you having to make sure that you don't go too far back, okay, in the stuff, in all the in betweens that happen. Notice this black cat right here. How this her cat is even just concerning. That cat could be looking at these eyes over here. I don't know if you can catch. Let me see if you can catch the eyes just back there, right in the creeks and the crevices between the trees. But the cat then went from being frantic and feeling, you know what they say about animals, right? And I'm noticing how these bees, oh baby, I didn't even notice that. The bees right here in this illustration are attacking her, even though she's sitting, she's resting, she's in a moment of grief, a moment of mourning, anxiety, just she's just sitting there taking it. She's not even trying to run away. Even though there was sunlight right there, you didn't run away from the problem. You let them sting you because you say, you know what, this is going to be the last time you're going to sting me. I'm not doing this anymore. You noticed the nest there, right? But you didn't even leave. You said, this is I'm staying. I will not be thrown away. Even though they threw you away. But back to the cat. Notice how the cat is telling her to get her ass up. Move. And you finally got your ass up and started moving. And now the cat is over here relaxed. You have to remember how animals and babies, they realize your energy of panic. They realize your energy of dismay, of sorrow, of just not being in alignment. They notice when there's an entity around you, a spirit that's not supposed to be there, but yet they know the spirit is supposed to be there because the spirit has a reason to be there, right? But the spirit, that cat, is telling you to get up, and you finally got up and you finally moved right along. Okay, so Spirit is saying, embrace in all that has changed, embrace in all that has adjusted. Even those things that was done against you weren't done against you, they were done for you. So even whenever, whomever, whatever comes around, oh, I'm hearing Maxwell, whenever, wherever, whatever. Wish I knew that I could be the one. Oh, baby, listen. That you want it. Wish forever and a day, baby. So some of these people are coming with some emotional weight, baby. The emotional weight of it all. There we go. Oh, and if there's a thing that so some of these people will also, and opportunities will also have the state of mind of, well, if you change your mind, don't forget about them. Because they really want it with you bad. They really want it with you bad. And some of these energies, it's not from a pure and genuine, reminiscent type of place. I'm not saying they're reminiscent type of place is pure, genuine. Just more so that there are energies that they want it bad with you. Like they want to defeat your ass. They want to defeat you. Okay? And some of them are going to come with that, you know what, I'm sorry, and it's going to seem genuine and pure, and it is in a moment. But then they're going to go, turn back around to that. They want to defeat your ass. So Spirit is saying definitely use your discernment on your terms of engagement. On your terms of engagement, use your discernment. So here with the King of Cups, you are going to definitely need to be in this gratitude space of being appreciative for the lessons and the messages that you have learned and that you have been shown and that you aspire to. Spirit said that's all right now. Because they come on the other end, whomever this is on the opposite opposing end of the spectrum equation, who wants to, have this match with you, who wants to meet with you where they left you, and they want to return back to where they left off at. They're gonna have all the emotions. They're gonna have all the emotions, unbeknownst to them. You already went through the emotions. The emotions for you just isn't that. You all about your words. You all about your actions. You all about presenting exactly what it is that your spirit, your mind, your soul, your body, all that has came into agreement with. The verdict is in. I forgot justice was right there. The verdict is in. The verdict is in. And here with death. Let's bring this in closer. In confirmation with the belly. You have this man grieving in the background at a grave. And even though death has done his job, this child is still being kind to death. With the understanding your inner child is still being kind. Has gotten to the, thanks for the correction, Spirit, has gotten to the place where it is understanding the cycles of life and death, of death and rebirth, of rebirth and death and life. You have no grievances because, as said before, you understand that this happened for you, not to you. And if you have indeed lost someone who have met their demise, my condolences. But they left a marking on you that is going to be needed and necessary for you to be fruitful going forward. Spirit said, hold on to this imagery. Let me hold this like this. Hold on to this imagery the best way that you know how. Remember this, that threshold that you made it over, and the next threshold that it is that you're going to. Because, honey, they said that you are marking the equation. You said you are the common denominator, and you refuse to be defeated. So, here with justice, honey, listen, let me tell you. So, I pulled out the Kipperish, and we had several cards. And it's in regards to community. Whatever communities you were once a part of, whatever communities, you were once a part of, they are concerned. They are concerned. They are concerned that this might be their last chance. Let's see what else they're concerned about. So they say, let's put this concern card right over here. Ain't that something? Wow. They are concerned about the confusions and the illusions of their manifestations going up against them and revealing them as flying monkeys and Jezebels within the times that you shared spaces with them. That shit just hit me something hard. Like, literally, I'm seeing people being knocked off of their knees, doors being closed, and businesses being closed down. Not immediately, but later on in date. And Spirit said, now it's time to draw attention to this card right here, the Four of Swords. It's not just about you resting. It's about you being able to operate from a place of rest and stability. This is about you blocking out all that does not matter. We done went from black cat to a white cat. This is about you being able to block out all that no longer matters to you. All that no longer matters for the quest that you are on. Notice how you got two swords here laying next to you. Of course, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. But you also got the two behind you. Say they can come up and they can come around you and grab those two swords if they want to. But I'm hearing like this is like the sorcerer and the stone. The only ones that can move those swords are you. The only ones who can remove these blockages are you. And you moved those blocks someplace else. Spirit, where else do we want to go? Because we want to send the rebels on about their way. My eyes kept on going back here. And it says experiment, baby. They experimented on your ass. Whomever these people are, Spirit wants you to know they did experiment on your ass. Even if this is a parent, you have to understand, there's no guidebook to how to be a parent. There's plenty of books, but those books are not one size fit all. Though, even if it's your parent, they had to do the work. They had to do the work on themselves. They couldn't just read something and think that, oh, they was going to be able to be like Mike. They actually had to apply themselves to the lessons that they were reading and that were being taught. If this is a relationship, and they didn't know what to do with you. They didn't know, being took back to the Maxwell, whenever, wherever, whatever. Bye-bye, baby, wish I knew. I'm going to put that down in the description. It was trial and error. There was a lot of people who tried out a lot of tactics on you. Bring this in. They experimented on you. And it says, life is a consistent question that can never be answered. Life is a consistent question that can never be answered. It can only be lived. Life is full of little experiments. Keep attempting long enough, and pretty soon the experiment will pay off. Baby, and you as the experiment that they was experimenting on, Spirit is saying, you paid off. You are a wise investment for Spirit, and they thank you, they appreciate you. And it says the Lady of Lightning. Lady of Lightning, the towers, total paradigm shift, the towers that you brought. That's why you felt in safety. You knew. It's taking me back to this relationship that I had. I'm gonna call it a relationship just for the sake of, I don't feel like deep diving into what it was, what it wasn't, what it was, what it wasn't, what it was, what it wasn't. Regardless, it was a relationship because there was a presence. I remember telling someone who I was friends with, and we were also working with each other. I remember this person telling me, you know what, you need to leave him alone. He no good for you. And I couldn't grasp why it was that she was telling me just randomly to leave him alone. I didn't create ideas in my head, although, later on I thought to myself, like, maybe she slept with him. I don't know. But she was just telling me and trying to throw every curveball she could at me. Yeah, now I see what your mama meant by what. She never finished that statement. She tried to offer me everything that she could think of to offer me that was in her house the next day, trying to get me to get comfortable and accept something. I said no to everything, and that pissed her off even more. But we went out on the balcony, and because she didn't want her teenage daughter, her younger daughter who had headphones on in another room to supposedly hear us. I feel like she didn't want her daughter walking in and seeing her acting crazy. Um, but she said to me, like, why won't you just listen? Just leave him alone. And I told her, you don't know what I need from this situation. You don't know what I need from this situation, not from him, but from this situation. See, people, they fail to understand that their advice is from their point of view, but you're living your life experience. And they don't know what you need from even a situation that is deemed doomed and promised to fail. Now I knew that relationship, that situationship that I was in with the guy. I had an understanding with myself and I spoke with him out loud. I know this isn't gonna last. And it wasn't the fact that I was trying to manifest that it wasn't gonna last. His morals, his principles, his values. It seemed he had none. But there was an attachment within me that I knew that there was something that I needed to see through. And so I can get over. Okay? I needed to see it through. I needed to go through that. I needed to take myself through that. And so I can get over it. Because I knew something about my energy was stuck and it was bound to his energy. And I saw it through and I got over it. Now, that woman is no longer a friend of mine because there was obviously personal things that she invested herself in as an attachment. She never expressed a concern of, that she couldn't support me through it or any of that stuff. It seemed very personal to her, like she got herself involved in my situation in a way that she wanted to remain hidden from me. And the best way for her to keep it hidden from me was for me to let him go. It wasn't really a concern about me. It was a concern about her own secrecy. In regards to that guy, though I made it through to get over, there go that rumbling, the storm for the start, honey. He expressed to someone on his end, one of his friends, that he just couldn't shake me. He couldn't shake me. He couldn't get him, like, it was done. It was done. Put it like this. When spirit wants something to be taken out your life and removed, they will be removed. Because that guy, that day, he wanted me to take a ride with him. And something told me. I went to the bathroom and I just sat there. I wasn't, exposed. But I just sat there and I was gonna take the ride with him. But I heard this voice come over me and tell me, don't go. And in that moment, I realized part of me was afraid of him. And I was thinking to myself, like, first off, where is this voice coming from? And second off, why am I ready to cry like I'm afraid of this man? I've never been afraid of him a moment in my life. So I'm telling you, I was so not afraid of this man to the point that I never lied to him. Even about the ugliest, dirtiest parts of me. Even about the ugliest, dirtiest parts of me that I knew that he could have been justified in wanting to kick my ass over. I never lied to him, ever. But in that moment, I was scared of him. When I heard that voice say, don't go, the voice then turned around and said, do not get dressed. And I had this internal conversation. I'm going to cry. I had this internal conversation with that voice that I heard that I now know was spirit. What am I going to tell him? What am I going to do? They said, just go downstairs and just sit in that chair. Sit in your office chair. And so I had two bathrooms, and he was in the other bathroom, and he came out the bathroom to see me sitting in my room, just sitting in that chair. And he like, why you didn't get dressed? I'm like, I'm not gonna go. And he didn't say anything. The next word out of his mouth was, you're not gonna go. And I said, no. You know what? I think I'm gonna stay here and I'm just gonna work on my art. And he was so mad. So mad. That was the first time that, like, I've always known that he had a beast in him. I always knew that he had entities attached to him. I always knew. But that was the first time that I was not on the level with those entities, with those deities, with those spirits that held on to him and helped him create his lifestyle. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And yes, I'm back here, tearful because I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful to that moment, because that moment could have changed my entire life and my entire pathway. And he looked at me, and it was one of those looks and stares that somebody give you silently, where you could see the words just taking up space in the room. And it said, "Bitch, I got you. I got you. Wait until I get back." And it also gave me the energy that when he left, that he was about to go do some damage, some behind the scenes damage. That just like that friend of mine, who's no longer a friend of mine, it was secrecy. It was the energy of hidden secrecy. I'm gonna hurt you, and you ain't even gonna know. And he left, not a kiss, not a hug, not a goodbye. He said, "All right, man," and he left. And when he left, I I started to cry just a little bit. But Spirit said, "You're not finna work on your art. You're not finna work on your craft. Just lay down and go to sleep." And when I woke up from that rest, I got a tarot read. And that tarot read, first words out of her mouth was, "It had to happen this way." And I went to go get my child right before I had that tarot read from daycare. And that man still wasn't back. So if I had took that ride with him, I wouldn't have been back to get my child. This was, 2 hours after the fact my child was supposed to be picked up. He still wasn't back. And he was supposed to go get my other kid. And my other kid was supposed to be picked up at the marking of the time that I heard that read. It had to happen this way. And I listened to the read, and it made me cry, because I'm like, what's going on? What happened? Because my spirit was literally attached to that read. As soon as that read was over, and I believe the video cut off on that read, I got a call. And that call was my child saying that they were never picked up. And then I got another call. No, I'm sorry. I'm going a little ahead of myself. The first call that I got was that man calling me, telling me that the police got him. He went to go do some illegal stuff. And he wanted me to drive because he didn't have a license. Yeah, he didn't have a license. And that was the reason why he wanted me to go with him, because he was going to drive far distance. And he didn't have a license. And he didn't want his car to be taken away. And I don't have a background. So therefore, if I get caught driving with whatever he had up in the car, I guess it would have, he perceived that would be just a slap on the back for me. But no, he got taken away. And I later on got a call from my child telling me that he was never picked up. And when I got the call from my child, I was in an Uber trying to rush to the scene where this man that got pulled over at, and found with all this stuff, whatever the stuff was, I still don't know. Thinking that my child was in that car. Spirit allowed that panic to rush over me, trying to save my child. And when I was almost there, my child called me and said that he was never picked up. And I did try to call my child plenty of times while I was in the Uber. My son, they didn't answer. I had my neighbors watch my baby. And when I made it to the scene, they had already taken him away. There was nothing there but the car. And the police let me get the car seat out of the car. Though the guy, that man, he wanted me to get his phone out of the car. They wouldn't let me get his phone. Thank goodness they didn't. I didn't want to be an accessory, right? But that was still me being caught in the in-between of who I once used to be willing to be for others and for him, and who I was no longer willing to be, because that day I could have lost my kids. That day I could have not just lost my kids, I could have lost my own freedom. And to this day, I still don't have a record. So when I say the Spirit will put you in situations and snatch your ass out of it because you have a mission, because you have a greater calling, because you have a greater purpose. Even after that situation, yeah, that guy, he tried his best to woo me, and all of a sudden he wanted to be with me because remember I said there was no agreement of us being together. I already knew the life that he was trying to have for himself. He didn't want to be tied down. It didn't matter the space of love that I had for him. But I just wanted to have that time with him, to investigate myself, to allow myself to have that experience with him. And so I can let go of whatever hold there was on me, that was still attaching me to him. And now that I went through it and I'm over it, now it's being spoken back to me by his people that he can't shake me, and he don't know why. And with him being where he at, I know how tough it is for him to do the work, because he locked up. He got in prison. And Spirit made it this way. And so I can work on myself. Well, I need to work on myself to rekindle with myself of who I was actually meant to be, who I even was, who I even had been, that I had difficulty being because of my cause of wanting to have a level of acceptance with others, not just him, but others. I had a difficulty being myself and seeing myself because of my negotiating my morals and my principles to make space for others to fit in my life, even though I didn't realize how much I was merging myself to be accepting in their life, and I was leaving so much of my life behind. Spirit wanted me to share that with you, and that was something that I never thought that I would share so publicly. Oh, honey, there's so many other details to that whole you did. There's so many details, because when I say Spirit took me through it and tore me down and got on my ass and made me see myself, it made me into the person who I am today, that I promise and I swear for everything. I am never going to willingly, I don't care how many flags, honey, at this point it only takes one. I'm out of there. I'm not going through that, because so much good. I can pinpoint the day, I can pinpoint the date that my life would have been nothing of what it is now. So it doesn't matter how little anybody perceive that I have. It doesn't matter how monumental anybody perceive that things are for me. Just knowing what life could have been for me after that day, had not the Spirit told me, do not get dressed and don't worry about it. Just go sit in that chair. It's going to be okay. You have to trust yourself, even without other people's advice or opinion. being a factor in your why. It doesn't matter what it looked like to others. It doesn't matter if others can make sense of it. Because ultimately, however things turn out, it's going to be on you. So, Spirit, let's wipe my face. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. Ain't nobody tell me nothing. Honey, what we got? What we got? What we got? What we got? Now, this deck has been split, like sitting over here, a full deck, but it's been sitting half-assed. It's been sitting half-assed for about a week, and I still have not touched this deck in probably a month or so. But honey, and this deck is about work and living life. I believe it's the Life Journeys Tarot. The Spirit told me just take the half that's disposed. Honey, the world. Look at me now. Look at you now. If you would have listened to others in those times that you knew that things were not playing favorable to you, but you knew that you just needed it. You just needed to go through it. And you didn't even understand why. And you made it this far. And you made it to mark the date of when your rebirth, of when your awakening started. Know that you are blessed. So know that not only are you blessed, but that this is the reason why you are going to have so much strength. And whatever it is that you say, whatever, baby, with the King of Wands, at the bottom. They say they want me to get the top two. Give me a moment. King of Wands at the bottom. You're going to have to scoot over, honey. You're going to have to scoot over. Baby. And the Eight of Cups at the top of this deck. I'm going to lay that right there. Oh my gosh. There was so much that you had to walk away from. Y'all gonna have me burling. They have that cutting crash, y'all. There was so much that you had to walk away from. Something that you were committed to. People that you were committed to. People that you know on the other side of everything that you've been through by yourself now. You would have gave so much. You would have ruined your own life for them. But Spirit said no, they can't have that. They can't let you do that. Because though you did not know your value, and they wanted to show you your value, and you made it, and you're making it, and you're doing it, and now your new life has officially begun. Okay, so we want this card in collaboration, baby, with this card, and we gonna cover up the tushy, and it said against, baby, against the grain with the Knight of Pentacles. And this is why I'm crying, right? Because to rejoice in having a story like that, and nobody wants to have to align themselves up with a story like that. But this is what keeps you humble. This is what keeps you grateful. This is what keeps you believing. This is what keeps me believing. And willing to clean up whatever mess of the aftermath, even though I didn't even though that decision was not made for me to drive for him that day. Yeah, there was still a whole lot of stuff to clean up, not just for me, but for my family, for my kids, for my life, for my well-being. And I'm willing to clean up those messes. This is me taking accountability. This is you taking accountability. And people wonder why, and I'm going to share this with you as well. People wonder why. Why is it that while you're cleaning up these messes that it seems like you're emotionally detached? No, you're not emotionally detached. You understand. You understand the mission. You understand how emotionally attached this shit could have really had you. Okay, just like for me, kids could have been taken away. I could have been locked up. I could have had some shit on my back. I don't even know to this day what was up in that man's car that he went to go get. I didn't even know that that's what the hell he was going to do, although I did know that he did stuff like that. I just didn't know that he was making that trip for that. Okay? Being honest now, being real. People don't understand why you are not grieving, why you are not so anxious, why you are not so conflicted in your emotions regarding whatever these situations are, regarding whomever these people are. Because Spirit seen you through so much. Honey, somebody just chopped some weeds. Spirit done seen you through so much. You're not going to dwell on things that you know are going to be recovered. You're not going to dwell on things that you know Spirit has a reason for it, why it's happening the way that it's happening. You are very much so invested in the mission. Confirmation, honey. And it says assertive. Baby. With the cougar. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It says, in silence you find power. In silence. In silence. Remember what I said? I came upstairs to the bathroom and I just sat down. I ain't had to use the bathroom. I just sat down. My clothes was right in front of me. I could have easily sat there, got the message, and got dressed. They said don't, and I didn't. It said, in silence, you will find power. Claim your leadership role and take action. You know where to go and what to do. Oh, you have the courage and confidence to succeed. Maybe they say don't put that over there. They say we're going to put that over there. Oh my gosh. All right, Rebels, I'm about to get you up out of here. I love and I adore you so much, but they're telling me to pull this one, and we got a compilation, confirmation cards. Okay, this one, I ain't seen them. I'm looking over them. I'm pulling over my shoulder. You see my shadow. Oh, 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 oh. So you got generosity, and generosity came out with gain, and a personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer, and we are approaching Cancer season when I do this read, honey. We still in Gemini season, and you know I never tell anybody my zodiac, but I'm gonna tell you this now. I am a Gemini Cancer cusp. I am a Gemini Cancer cusp, and I have a Pisces moon at Capricorn. Okay, so my top 3 is Gemini Cancer cusp, Pisces moon, and Capricorn. So however that, makes you feel good, it makes you feel good. But let's read this generosity card. I'm exposing, look at me being free and just not being all uptight. Okay, it says, you have gained. Oh, sorry, not you have gained. I'm still looking at that gain card. You have given selflessly of yourself and your resources, and this is now coming back to you. Remain open to the help or gifts being offered to you right now. Baby, Spirit got a lot in store for you. Spirit got a lot in store for us. And I'm being told to finally bring attention to this justice card. Justice is going to be had for you over this community. And what I did not realize, because this is a deck that I just started using this past week, right? What I realized after the fact that I closed my read, how many days ago that was there was a justice card over here with a police officer who represented authority. He was in the darkness. He had his badge, but you can barely see, the upper part of his sword. But over here, this justice card, her sword is in gold, and her scales are very fruitful because it's nourishment, things growing all around her, above, so below. All right, so do know that your justice, honey, it says a personal issue reaches resolution. So this second chance, honey, listen, this second chance of the opportunity of the meeting, making amends, rekindling, and these things are reaching resolutions, and for the highest well-being of yourself. Seeing that you are the one who has put in all this work. Rebels, let's get you out of here. They share not yet. All right, what is this? And it says war and violence versus success. So watch yourself now. Watch yourself. Because here with against the grain and the Knight of Pentacles, the fact that you are so focused on your hard work that you seem so stubborn to the community that they just can't get you, but they knew how they had you, and they trying to get you back like they had you way back when. Say you're not going back, you're not doing that. Honey, listen, what I just shared, listen, I know you got a story to tell. I know you got a story to tell. I know you have that mark on your life of experience that told you that spirit is real and that spirit got you. Keep walking in faith. Keep taking those leaps of faith. Keep moving in faith. Keep your momentum always in faith. Good, bad, whatever it seems the disparities may be. Keep it in faith, okay? But they gonna try to be on you. They're going to be trying to be on you. Notice your success was already back here. Success is on this side. War and violence is on that side. Your success was already back here. You just didn't know it yet. You had a little bit of feel good, but you didn't know that the feel good was going to be as good as it's coming to you. As good as it is coming to you. Okay? Remember, gain, generous, babe, listen. But on the other end of things, like, you got your success here. They are going to be in mental violence and warfare with themselves. And that's not your problem. You take your accountability and you continue to move it right along. Now here with the King of Cups, honey, you know what to give your emotions to. You know how you have taken care of your emotions, and so you can move logically and not have to be deep diving in emotions when you should be focusing on other things. Let them sit in concern. Let them figure out what the hell they doing and what the hell they about. Rebels, I'm about to get your ass up out of here, okay? Because you got a life to live, and a beautiful life it is. And this came out on the last read. I did shuffle this, okay, but I'm still going to read it, okay? And we're going to read this one too. Okay, so the card that came out on the last read, so Spirit is saying definitely go look at the last read. It says, go back to the heart of who you truly are. There you will find peace. Look at your life in its entirety. Acknowledge any old wounds and then release them. Use what they taught you as added strength. Keep moving forward with your renewed sense of confidence, baby. What I just tell you about my life, what I just tell you about my story, honey, that's just a story. That's just a story. That's just a portion. That's just a moment in my life. And the things that I can share, the things that I have to tell, the experiences, the moments. Baby, listen, you thought that one was heavy. You thought that one, listen, look, that's fragments. That was a fragment. But it was a hell of a big, sharp-ass fragment, okay? It was, okay? But the next card reads, resilience is one of the strongest qualities you have. It has gotten you through so many trials and tribulations in the past, and it will continue to do so, okay? Lean on that inner tower of strength anytime you need it. You got this. I'm about to get you out here because I'm telling you that this wrap up. And then it said, baby. Oh, yes. Thank you, Spirit. 1001 spiritual awakening. A new phase in a religious or spiritual quest. A new phase in a religious or spiritual quest. You are going through a spiritual awakening, which can feel like a dark night of the soul. What we talked about, like a dark night of the soul. You are on a path of enlightenment, and this too shall pass. Rebels, I love you and I adore you, and I thank you so much for, even calling my energy to the table to do this read. I am so humbled. I am so blessed, and I know that this read was not all about me. It started with me, but in the midst of me pulling out cards, Spirit said that I could share it with you, that I can share this with you too, because we have all experienced so much of similar things it got quiet. We have all went through similar things. And if you have yet to understand that you will make it through this and that this too shall pass, honey, have faith in it. Know it. Know it. Know it. Okay, Spirit. So this one, they said this one, but this one. If this is the baby, baby, performer. So I'm getting a couple messages with this. They said, put on a performance, honey. Go on here and live your life. Remember, you gotta keep certain things quiet unto yourself, because you know how people set up on and got you when they knew what you had. Okay, and you didn't even know that you had it. They saw things in you that you didn't even realize in you. So Spirit said, keep certain things to yourself. Okay, treasure your babies, all right? And then, but this Queen of Cup, this Queen of Cup card coming out with this performer. But listen, imagine that. Baby, listen, Spirit is saying, get your teacups ready. Get your teacups ready. Because it's going to be a whole lot of going down. And notice they started back up that lawnmower. The moment that I said it, it's going to be a whole lot of going down. And it's going to have a little bit to do with you because you triggered some shit up in other people. But at the same time, it ain't gonna have nothing to do with you. So it's gonna be times that you just, somebody gonna give you a peek in, just like old girls that had told me. Yeah, he said he can't shake you, honey. There are gonna be some things that are gonna be exposed that you never thought should even be exposed or could be exposed. But you know what? It ain't none of your business. You live your life. You go do what you needed to do for you, babe. Go Rebels.